If you've recently sold a company or you're in the middle of negotiation, there's something most people won't tell you. Liquidity events are a lot more expensive than they look. Yes, they're exciting, and yes, it's going to change your life, but there are a lot of hidden costs that catch even the savviest of entrepreneurs totally off guard. So today we're going to try and pull back the curtain a little bit and highlight some of those common mistakes and costly things that people often overlook. Number one is taxes. They're often a huge piece of the sale and much more than you expect. Taxes are often called the silent partner because it's such a big chunk if you're not careful. Most often there's a ton of capital gains, but then there's also net investment income tax, often AMT, depending if you structure it as an asset sale or a stock purchase, you could have totally different results. Oh, and if you're in a state like California or New York, let's add on another layer of pain. So for that purpose, we need to model out taxes before and then be very intentional with strategic tax planning to keep that money for yourself. The second area that very often gets overlooked is misaligned incentives among your team. To get where you're at, you've likely built a team, you've led them down this path, but now when you're about to exit, you got to get crystal clear on what has been promised to them and what hasn't. We've seen deals really hit a hiccup towards the end because key employees thought they'd been promised a piece of the deal or a big bonus when they never had, or something had just been kind of a handshake deal. And then there's the deal structure itself, things like earnouts, clawbacks, seller financing. These things can sound fair in theory from both sides, but if they're not ironed out very clearly with expectations, they can create years of frustration, legal complexity, things you don't want to deal with. The bottom line with all of this, though, is that clarity prevents conflict later. The third area I wanted to highlight of a common misstep is timing mistake. Most of the best planning happens before the deal closes. The trouble is, most entrepreneurs are focused on getting a quick negotiation for the top dollar that they forget or ignore the other details. This includes things like pre-existing gifting, setting up philanthropic accounts, or restructuring your company to reduce taxes. You get one shot at these windows, miss them, and it could cost you 7 figures or more. We always coach our clients to start preparing well beforehand and to plan to and well beyond the transaction. The next one's a really interesting one, and we talk often about how freedom equals liquidity and the need to protect that. After an exit, there's this huge urge that comes to rush into the next thing. You're gonna get hit up by all your friends, family, and random people who know you have some money. They're gonna ask you to invest in the latest venture fund, real estate syndication, private deals, you name it. And while some of these may be great investments, they all lock up your capital really quick. We've seen newly liquid clients go from freedom to frozen in 12 months. You've had your capital locked up in your business for decades. Don't turn around and do the same thing. While everything is going to sound really compelling, we want to keep you liquid so that you can enjoy life and not stress about money. We help clients build what's called a liquidity stack. That starts with immediate access to cash for needs and flexibility, then funds designated for identified upcoming opportunities, and then long-term capital focused for growth and legacy. This isn't about avoiding private investments, it's about pacing with intention. All right, let's talk about lifestyle, because with new wealth comes new environments and new pressures. But even with 8 or 9 figures, spending can become unintentional really quickly. This is where setting up financial guardrails really helps. We help clients build what we call a wealth operating plan. It's not about limits, but it's about alignment. Spending should reflect your values, not impulses, comparisons, or status anxiety. Healthy circles have unspoken expectations. Homes, planes, schools. Here's our advice. Ground yourself in what brings you true joy. What experiences feel meaning to you? What purposes actually bring joy? You're not going to be perfect at this. Test things out, try it, and then don't repeat the mistakes you make. Periodically, review what you've done. See what worked, what didn't, and pursue your joy, not others. Number 6, family dynamic. A liquidity event doesn't just change your life, it definitely will ripple through your family. It's very important to proactively communicate what things will and won't change with your spouse, kids, and other family members. Create a shared understanding of what the wealth is for and what it's not. Talk about wealth. Set boundaries. Be transparent about what's changing and what is not. Liquidity events are about more than money, if you haven't figured that out by now. They're about identity, clarity, and legacy. Avoiding hidden costs isn't just about saving dollars. It's about preserving your freedom, your relationships, and your sense of purpose. So if you're preparing for an exit, or you've just gone through one, take a moment and pause. Zoom out and make sure you're coming from a place of intention and not assumptions. If you found this helpful, please go ahead and subscribe. We're here to help entrepreneurial families like yours navigate wealth with clarity and confidence. Your next chapter deserves more than just a big payday. It deserves a strategy. Thanks for watching.